How is it going, guys? Drew Peacock here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking Mustangs. We're going to be talking about the new S650 that Alma just picked up that we'll be building on the channel. I just want to clarify once again that that is her car. That is not my car. My name is not on the title. It's her car. She bought it. So a lot of these questions I know were kind of directed at her, but a lot of the I guess reasoning behind it, her and I discussed together. So I have good answers onto a lot of the questions you guys had about the S650 and like why she got that in particular. And so we'll answer that. We'll go ahead and answer that really quick. We'll talk about that. We'll drive around my Mustang. I don't think you guys have ever seen me in shorts. I don't like shorts personally, but I'm a little under the weather. I'm a little sick, so I'm letting my family Jules breathe. And yeah, we're just gonna listen to my Coyote with my Whipple and just go drive around. If someone wants to play around, we got the GoPro and we'll be ready for him. Anywho, let's go with the first question. First question was, why an S650? I'm gonna roll up the window so maybe you guys can hear me a little bit better. Sorry, like I said, my voice is a little scratchy right now. I'm feeling a lot better today, so I think this will be my last day of sickness, but if I sound a little under the weather, I'm sorry. Anywho, why an S650? An S650 was totally not what she was looking for. I'm not gonna lie, we were not looking at S650s. We were looking at an S550. And she goes over this in her video. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. But they hit her with a crazy, sorry. They hit her with a crazy interest rate on the S550. They hit her at 14.5%. for a used S550 from a real dealership. This isn't no mom and pop shop. This was a Honda dealership. It was a 2016. It had 1,700 miles. It was like brand new. It was great. We loved it. It was a manual 5.0 premium package. Beautiful. 1,700 miles. They hit her with a 14% interest rate. Immediately we were like, yeah, that ain't gonna work, chief. And so we dipped out, and right down the street was a Ford dealership. So we went there, and the numbers were very similar, if not a lot cheaper, for the new S650 compared to buying a used S550. If you guys don't know how, you know, financing a used car works, when you finance a used car, usually the interest rates are more dog shit. I don't know if this is nationwide, but at least in California, that's how it is. So her new interest rate is 7%, which is still bad, but the way the economy is right now, like that's pretty normal. I talked to all my finance guys and they're like, yeah, dude, like nowadays that's the going rate. My McLaren is not that high. My McLaren is less than half that, so that's good. But I guess that's like the new going rates. Like 7% is kind of common, so it is what it is. That still seems high. I know there's gonna be people in the comments like, oh, I would never sign for that. But that's the offers that Ford was offering. They offer a fixed rate at that, you know, that rate. So we weren't looking for an S650, long story short, but it just happened. She wanted an older S550. She wanted a 2016 to 2017 S550. This was a really funny comment as well. A lot of people are saying, oh, you should have got this instead. I read a comment today, oh, you should have got an M3 competition instead. Bro, the M3 competitions are not $45,000. Like, this was barely within her budget. We were trying to find a nice sports car for her, and her requirements were Apple CarPlay and a good exhaust note. And I can't think of another car, and I know someone's gonna say something stupid like an FRS, a BRZ. A BRZ does not sound good. It was within her budget, and she looked at one online and then realized she wasn't gonna settle, although it would have been cheaper. We were thinking about like Q60s, Q50s, red sports. No, just a little bit out of the budget. And also, I'm not a huge Infiniti guy, neither is she. So it was more of just like an idea. We were thinking of like the 6th gen Camaros, but they hold their value pretty well. I was trying to push her towards a C6, but again, she wanted CarPlay. She wanted a little bit more of a modern interior. So that wasn't gonna happen. But yeah, it's funny when I read the comments like, oh, you should have got this $30,000 more car instead of that. It's like, dude, for the price, you can't beat it. Bang for your buck, Mustang GT, you can't beat it. There's no car out there for that price that can perform like that. So I think she spent her money well, but we'll see once she starts actually building it. Another big complaint was the screens on the interior. A lot of people are saying that that was kind of ugly and I was ass. I'm not gonna lie, I agree with you guys. One screen, cool. Two screens, especially the way they're just like that, like the S650s, the later years, they have the screen in the dash. It's hidden, it looks cool. I like that, because you still got like some shape to it. You still could design around it. It's nice. Just putting a fucking iPad right there, I 100% agree with you guys. It's fucking ugly. But I think that's the way of the future. I think people are just gonna start doing that shit. And it's cheaper for them. It's a lot cheaper for them to just slap a screen right there instead of making some custom screen shape and programming it like that. So I agree with you guys though. That shit is fucking ugly. I don't like the look of just the two iPads. But it is cool that you can go in there and change it a lot. There's a lot of customization. The Fox body gauges are my favorite by far. But hopefully they add, like, that'd be sick if they add the SN95, they add the S197, that'd be sick. But right now the Fox body gauges are my favorite. A lot of people were also asking, why would we get the A10 instead of the manual? And I felt like I already covered it in the video. The MT82 sucks. If it came with a Tremec, I would have pushed her into the manual. Originally, I was pushing her into the manual because I thought they came with a Tremec, but they don't. Only the Dark Horse comes with a Tremec. And an extra $20,000 for a transmission and like an appearance package and 20 more horsepower, it didn't make sense. So we didn't get the Dark Horse, she didn't get the Dark Horse. It didn't make sense. If it came with a Tremec, she 100% would have got it. She was still leaning towards the MT82 and I talked her out of it. I said, you don't want that, trust me. And Brian was there too and he was like, you don't want that, trust us. So we pushed her into the A10. And also I already have a manual Coyote. We don't really need a second one. So I could do all the downshifts and make all the noises. But going further than that, we're trying to build the car for the track, not straight line. We're trying to build it for the twisties, the road courses. So when I take the McLaren, she can come out. And one less thing for her to do, I think will make the car a lot more track friendly for her. She could either A, just leave it in track mode, or B, use the paddles. So I think long term, she's gonna enjoy the A10 a lot more. And I've never experienced an A10, so it's a little bit of variety on the channel. All right, this one, a lot of people were calling me out on, and I mean, the title kind of says that, but I did mention a lot of times that I don't like the S650. I said I don't like how it looks. I think it's a lazy upgrade, a lazy update. And I still stand by that. I do not 100% like how it looks. But well, it's not my car. I didn't buy it. So there's that. But also, a lot of my complaints are just that Ford made it a little bit of a lazy update. I think Ford could have done a little bit more to update the looks. Modified, they look great. But stock, yeah, they look kind of basic. So luckily, hers isn't going to stay stock for long. We should have parts coming in real soon. There's already stuff in the mail, so follow her, follow me, and we're going to transform how it looks. I kind of already covered this one, but I'll just reiterate. A lot of people are saying, why didn't she get like an older Mustang, like S197, S550? And again, I already kind of covered it. One, the interest rates were ridiculous for an S550. So we didn't really shop around. Oh, my voice cracked. We didn't really shop around. But two, she wanted Apple CarPlay, so S197 was kind of already out of the question. I don't believe the 14s and 13s came with Apple CarPlay. So there's that. I would have loved for her to get S197, but again, then it would be just this 2.0. I think her car is a lot more track capable. She's got the independent rear suspension. She's got the A10. I think hers is going to be a real capable car once we get going on it. We're not going to slap a Whipple on it. We're not going to twin turbo it, at least not anytime soon. The ECUs are locked. You could do the Whipples. I don't know if you can twin turbo yet. I believe someone already has, but the ECUs are locked. So we're going to enhance the stock output by suspension, wheels, braking, anything we can do to make it perform better as is and just go put some solid times down. That's the plan. And lastly, Someone said, why did she get a base model? I also just noticed we haven't seen one cool car out. It's a fucking Sunday morning and nobody's out driving their cool cars. What a bunch of losers. Anywho, why did she get the base GT? Why didn't she get the premium package? Why didn't she get the track pack? Why didn't she get the dark horse? And a lot of it just came down to budget. It was a little bit out of her price range. You know, I believe the premiums are an extra like $10,000, and then the dark horse is an extra 10 on top of that. So personally, I don't blame her. I mean, you're getting what, leather seats and a slightly different screen setup. I don't really blame her. I don't think I would have got anything more than what she got, and that's because, like, we're gonna modify it. We're gonna rip out those seats. We're gonna rip out a lot of the shit that it has, because she's trying to turn it into a track car. She's trying to go to the track with me when I take the McLaren. So having a street car that is trackable, I think it makes sense, you know? What's the point of buying the leather seats if we're gonna rip them out? The dark horse, if it was a little cheaper, I think would have been a little nicer. Obviously it comes with much nicer seats and everything, but just buying a premium or something like that, it doesn't really matter if one day it's gonna look like this, you know, like a race car. So I don't blame her. But anyways, yeah, that was some of the questions. I'm trying to think if there's any other questions. Some people were saying that the whole break-in miles for an engine is a myth. I somewhat agree with that. I know a lot of these manufacturers do just say that type of shit. My super break-in procedure when I got the built motor was let it idle for 20 minutes with this certain oil and then change it. So yeah, I mean, that just goes for kind of anything though. It just depends on if you want to follow it. That's why, like, we put a few hundred miles on it, and then you could see us beating on it in the video. It was already at like 300 or 400 miles. Like, the video didn't follow the continuity like it showed. Like, we had already had the car for probably a week when you guys saw me beating on it. So that's a little thing called editing, my friend. But yeah, we're planning stuff we already are in the talks for is a full exhaust system. We're in the talks for some wheels. We're in the talks, well, we already got the lowering springs sent out. We're in the talks for some aero. We're in the talks for some new, like, front grills. We're talking, trying to get some seats for the car. So, like, we have a full build pretty much coming for the car, and then it'll be pretty much ready. There's no point in doing intakes. You can't tune it. I'll look in to see if those carbon traps are really worth ripping out. So catback, wheels, tires, suspension, seats, some appearance shit, and she'll be ready for the track. Like, it's gonna be a monster. I'm telling you guys, that car is gonna be so fun around the track. I literally can't wait. Anyways, I'll keep my eyes out for a victim on the way home, and if not, then I'm just gonna go toss this video up, and we should be filming some S650 content today. So follow Mammy, follow me, subscribe, and until next video, peace. Sorry, I'm sick. I'm gonna try to get some fun shit out to you later. Deuces.